So you're here without your papers and you want to be able to get up to speed with your status, to be able to allow you to legally work here and move forward with your life, staying unified with your family. What can you do? So I know we've been talking about immigration reform, and that's the hope. We're hoping that positive immigration reform will come soon. But in the meantime, what can you do now? I'll give you 5 things that can be done right now, depending on your circumstances, of course, to qualify you to stay here, to get your work permit here, and even a travel document that allows you to have a little freedom of movement outside of the US to come back in. So the first way is through VAWA. VAWA is a form of relief granted to immigrants who are experiencing mistreatment by a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident, that's a green card holder, spouse, a parent if you're under 21, under 25 in some cases, or by a U.S. citizen's son or daughter who's age 21 and up. It's a confidential process where you don't have to involve the spouse or relative who's mistreating you. And they don't hold the fact that you may have overstayed your visa or that you've crossed the border without permission in some cases against you. So T status is another one. Now, you don't have to have a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident relative. You could be the victim of trafficking and the trafficker could be anybody. Now, hear me out here. When we talk about trafficking, the definition is broad. What I would say is that if you feel or felt like you were in a situation that you did not want to be in, but you felt forced, not necessarily by physical force, but maybe the person made you feel like you had to stay in that situation. They may have done that by threatening to report you or just made you feel like you had nowhere else to go, or they may have held your papers. If that's the case, you could possibly qualify for T status. Now, in addition to making you feel forced into that situation, they may have you do work or they may have you perform certain acts for them. You can also gain permanent residence here in the US, and while you're waiting for permanent residence, get the work permit and travel document if you are the spouse or you're the son or daughter under 21 and unmarried of a US citizen, or if you're the parent of an adult citizen.